Okay, so our beef jerky is done. We have normal and we have spicy. I'm going to try out some of the spicy right now. The pineapple mango habanero. Let's try this. That's good. I didn't use the seeds, so it's spicy, but it's not overly spicy. No warm, fruity, delicious. You gotta try this recipe out. And if you don't have a smoker, you can put it in the oven. 170 degrees, 4 or 5 hours, and you'll be good to go. Definitely try this out. This is Raw, and I am out. I'm gonna eat all this beef jerky. Hey, this is Raw. That's the best elevator music I ever heard. Alright, for our first beef jerky recipe, this is just your basic beef jerky. Not spicy at all. You know, a little bit of pepper, but not much. We're going to add half a cup of brown sugar. We're going to add about a tablespoon of black pepper. Right? About a tablespoon of granulated garlic. Granulated garlic in there. And then a tablespoon of granulated onion. Right, make sure we get that in there good. Now we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of soy sauce. Let's get that measured out and input it. Alright, 3/4 of a cup there. Good. Now we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Let's get that in there. Okay. And we're not adding salt because of the soy sauce that's in there. And now we're going to add a half a teaspoon because this is like just about 3 pounds of beef that we're going to be using. And this eye round. So we're going to use a half a teaspoon of curing salt, the Prague #1. That's going to help prolong our shelf life, even though we don't need it because we're going to eat this up pretty quick. But it's nice to have it. So, in case you don't know what it is, Prague #1. Let's get this nicely mixed up. Smells good. Marinated smells good. Alright, now let's pour this onto our meat. I've hand sliced it. So we get this poured in. There we go. And both of these recipes, we're going to marinate it in the refrigerator for 2 days. Actually, at this point, I'm looking at the clock. It's going to be closer to a day and a half, just over a day and a half. Let's get this in here, get the air out, mix it up, and this is going to go into the fridge. And about every hour or two, I'm going to go back and mix it again. So for our second one, we're doing a mango habanero beef jerky. So let's get that sauce together. First thing I want to do, I've halved 2 habaneros. I've de-seeded them. So I want it to be a little spicy, but not too much spice because I really enjoy the flavor of the habanero. Not so much the spice, but I really enjoy the flavor. Alright, to that, we're going to add 3/4 of a cup soy sauce. Oh yeah. Again, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. There we go. about a tablespoon of black pepper. Get the black pepper in there. About a tablespoon of granulated garlic. Yeah. Tablespoon of granulated onion. You know how I feel about these. That in there nicely. Okay. Now for our preserving properties, we're going to add, a half a teaspoon of our curing salt, our pink salt. Now let's add some fresh mangoes today. So I've got a can of sliced mangoes and heavy syrup, which is fine. Okay, let's get these in here. Now lastly, 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar. There we go. Just get that in there. Nice. Now let's blend this up. And you want to puree it if you can. Hopefully your blender will be able to do it. I'm not going to add any crushed red pepper flakes, I don't think. I have to see how this mixture blends up and then we'll see. Okay, let's get a little taste. See what we got. We'll taste on the top. Oh, I can feel the heat. Floral. Yeah, we don't need any crushed red pepper flakes. So this is good to go. Let's pour this into our 2-pound bag of Eye of Round that we've already sliced. It tastes good, but you know what? I think I'm going to add some pineapple juice to this. Just give it more of a fruity taste to go with the mangoes. Let me add some pineapple juice to this. Okay, you're mixing this apple juice in here. This pineapple juice. Alright. And we're going to pour this. Alright, here we go. Let's get this poured in. Okay. Get the air out. Alright, mix it up. And again, this is going to go into the fridge for about a day and a half. And let's get this going. Okay, so in the fridge it goes. I will see you in about a day and a half. As I'm making this beef jerky and making the marinade and stuff, I realized that I haven't made hot sauce in a while. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some mango habanero hot sauce. Of course, it's fermented, so it's going to take me about 2 weeks to make it. But I think I'm going to do it, so stay tuned for that. Okay, back to the beef jerky. Just thought I'd put that out there for you. Okay, so it's been 24 hours. Let's check this out. Okay, this is the normal beef jerky here. Yeah, this is a good mix. Good massage. It looks good. I can see the peppers. They're mixed in nicely. That back in there. And this is the pineapple mango habanero. So we got a little tropical mix here. Get this all mixed in. Alright. Give this about another, 16 hours? 16 hours, and then we put it's been about 44 hours or so. I've taken the beef jerky out of the refrigerator, and now I'm going to strain it just to make things a little bit easier. Alright. So this is the regular beef jerky. Let's get this in the strainer. We don't want to reserve this marinade, so we can just throw this whole bag away. Alright, so let this strain. Make things a lot easier for us. Alright, now I'm going to put these on some paper towel. Alright, so I'm going to put the beef jerky onto some paper towels so we can get the excess marinade off of it. Right, and make sure they're on here flat so you can get the most sauce off of it, or most marinade off of it. Make sure they're not, crumpled up or crunched up. And you want to get this moisture off of here because it's going to help speed up the drying process. And you don't have to do it, but I would highly recommend it. Alright? Another set of paper towels on top so we can do the next batch. That patted down good. Okay, another set of paper towels. Okay, another set of paper towels. Last set. For this flavor, this is the regular. Make sure it's patted down nicely. Get those excess marinade off of there, excess moisture. Right? Now we're going to put it on the rack. Now that we've patted them dry, let's get these put on the rack. And make sure you got, about a half of an inch or so between each piece of meat, because the key is to have some good air circulation. Mind the edges. You don't want to get too close to the outer edge. Very important that they're laid flat and not curled over, because that's just going to lock in the moisture, and you don't want the excess water just to be piled in there, the excess moisture. So at this point you can rearrange. Now that you have them laid out, you can rearrange, give more space if needed. So that's what I'm doing right now. Here we go. All right, now we're going to put these on the smoke temp. Is that our hickory? Now let's go do just the first batch. We're going to put it at the top. Okay, so the smoker's ready. We put the regular jerky out there. Temperature we're looking at anywhere between 165 and 180 is fine. But we want to try to get it, if we can, closer to the 165. But with it being a stick burner, it's going to fluctuate. And we're using a hickory. I may put a little bit of apple in there, a little bit of apple wood. But what I'm getting ready to do now is we're going to prepare the habanero, the mango habanero, I guess you say pineapple mango habanero jerky, just like we processed the basic one. So I'm going to get that processed and get that on the smoker, and then we'll check back probably in about an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. I'm looking for this smoke to be somewhere around 4 to 5 hours. And then after that, just to make sure everything's good, we're going to be putting it in the oven for half an hour, just to make sure that all the bacteria is killed. Okay, a little tip time. So even though I'm using the vertical water smoker, I took the water pan out, because after all, I'm trying to dry out the meat. I don't want moisture in there. So I took out the water pan, right? And another tip, I have 2 different flavors of beef jerky. I have the regular one, then I have the spicy. Now, I put the spicy one on the bottom. You don't want to put the spicy on top because what's going to happen as it's dehydrating, juices are going to be falling down. You don't want your spicy marinade to drip down onto your normal beef jerky because you're going to get shocked, or you might surprise somebody else thinking they have a mild to no spice jerky, and then you blow their face off. So remember, put your spicy on the bottom. And also, another tip, I'm not sure if I mentioned it earlier, but when you're trimming your meat off, get the fat off of there. You know, because it's the fat that's on there, it goes bad fast. So your beef jerky is going to go bad because the fat gets rancid and just disgusting. So you want to cut it off as much as you can, you know, without tearing up your meat. That's why I picked the eye of round, because it's a lean meat, and when you get it, most of the fat is on the outside, not so much in the inside. So it's tedious, but you know, you can cut the fat off the outside and you'll be good to go. And also cutting it thin, you know, 1/4 inch, well, 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 inch, you're fine. Some people want it thicker, some people want it thinner, but it's going to dictate your cooking time. Also, when you're smoking your beef jerky, once you're done smoking it, you always want to make a practice of putting it in the oven at least 250 degrees or higher for 30 minutes when you think your jerky's done. That way, if there's any bacteria that's in there, it will get killed. So that way you're not risking someone getting sick off your jerky, because there's some bacteria that survive the smoking process. All right. See you later.
Smoking away. See the thin blue smoke. That's good. I'm using hickory and a little bit of apple. I added those in. I like those two flavors. The combination is awesome. Now let's check the edges. Oh, that is looking very good.
We have the spicy here on the bottom, and we have the normal on top. 4 racks is normal, 3 racks is spicy. As you see, they shrunk a little bit.
Let me get you here so you get a better look. So you see they shrunk a little bit, which is going to happen. It's going to reduce by over half. It's going to shrink by over half. So expect that when you're doing your jerky. Okay, let's get this closed back up, and we'll check it in another hour number 2.
See what we got here. Yeah, it's looking nice.
Get you guys in here. Looking nice. Now at this point, we're not going to add any more wood. And because after 2 hours, that's all the smoke you're really going to get on the meat. So let's get this closed back up.
Let's see what we got.
Okay, let's bring her in. Look at it. There's a little bit of glare out here. Yeah, but yeah, here's the thing. I'm smoking this beef jerky. And it's like 103 degrees out here right now. I don't have that much briquettes in the firebox. I'm not using any woods, but because of how hot it is out here, it's raising the natural ambient temperature of my grill. So instead of the 160, it's hovering at about 200 degrees, even though there's little to any charcoal in the firebox. So that's something else you have to worry about, the weather outside.
4.5 hours? Let's see what we're looking at. Alright.
Let's get in here.
Yeah, 4.5 hour mark. Yeah. Still looking good. Alright, let's get this closed up. Almost. Okay, so it's been about 6 hours. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to collect the Habanero beef jerky. And we're going to put that in the oven for 30 minutes. And I'm at 260 degrees. Alright, so we're going to make sure everything's good to go. All the bacteria has been killed. But since it's a stick burner, the grill was always over 165. So I'm pretty sure all the bacteria is dead, but you want to make sure. You know, especially if you're going to be giving it to people, you're not trying to hurt nobody, right? Or send them to the hospital. So better safe than sorry. So let me go collect that. So I've taken out the pineapple, mango, habanero, beef jerky. I've taken that out of the oven. Now it's time to go out to the smoker and collect the regular beef jerky. And then we're going to put that in the oven for 30 minutes. Okay, so we're going to put the regular ones in. I have them stacked up. We're going to put these in the oven for 30 minutes. See, I have them still stacked up. And we're going to put them right in the oven. Stacked up and ready to go. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to put the habanero, the pineapple habanero, into a bag. And let that get to room temperature before we seal it. Let it get all in there nice. And you don't want to seal it right away because of the moisture that may be in it. The point is to keep the moisture out. So put it in the bag and let it sit for a couple hours with the bag open. Alright? So that's now we have our regular one. Let's get these in there. And I put a paper towel in here, in the bag, to help absorb some of the extra moisture that comes out when you put it in the oven. These in here. Alright, you let this sit out with the bag open for a couple hours, and then you'll be able to seal it. And because we use the crack powder #1, this will be able to sit on your countertop outside of your refrigerator for a minimum of 6 months, easy. But it won't last that long because you're going to eat it all up. But if you vacuum seal it, it'll last even longer. But it'll be gone. People will realize that you have it, your family, friends, and they'll eat it all up before you can tell how long it's going to last. So our beef jerky is done. We have normal and we have spicy. I'm going to try out some of the spicy right now. The pineapple mango habanero. Let's try this. That's good. I didn't use the seeds, so it's spicy, but it's not overly spicy. No warm, fruity, delicious. You gotta try this recipe out. And if you don't have a smoker, you can put it in the oven. 170 degrees, 4 or 5 hours, and you'll be good to go. Definitely try this out. This sauce you off, and I'm out. I'm gonna eat all this beef jerky.